Dick, we need you upstairs. And Dick's like, okay, what? Dick's really laid back. Well, okay, what? And he goes, well, you know that little girl you hired yesterday? And he goes, yeah. And she's drunk and on top of the bar taking her clothes off. And Dick goes, oh, crap! And he takes off running. It's just, I think taking off clothes is the main thing that goes along with it.
Yeah.
Stoned or,
Is it something you said?
Yeah.
Wait, okay, no, I'm not a perfect person.
No.
Okay, I haven't done any acid.
Okay.
But I've partied a few times in my life, and I can't remember any of those times requiring me to strip naked in public.
Wanting to be
for any
naked.
reason,
I don't
yes.
know.
But maybe I'm just a little fashioned, I don't know. So now, we also want to be able to point people to albums and websites, and we've got more guests coming, so let me get to some of those things.
All right.
Your website.
Connie Hawkins and the Blues Wreckers, like not record, but wreckers like you wreck your car.
Okay.
.com.
Okay.
And
What's the latest album out?
the latest album is Wired Up and Fired Up.
Wired Up and Fired Up, available on your website and anywhere else?
Yes.
Like CD Baby or any of those? Or?
CD Baby, yes, I believe they
Okay,
handle
cool.
it too. So.
And try to buy from, like either from the artist directly or a CD Baby. Don't go on to like Amazon and buy it from somebody who's making money off their back. Buy it from the artist. It's
right.
their back.
Yeah.
Sean.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Hey, remember I said my job's to be the bad guy for everything.
That's right.
So Sean, your website.
SeanMurphyBand.com.
And what's your latest album? Because I know you've got, didn't you have one come out? Or you're getting ready to come one?
Well, I'm recording one right now,
Okay.
but the last album was called Loretta.
Okay.
And that's available on CD Baby, Amazon, and iTunes.
Okay. So get these albums, see these artists, and I adore these ladies. And it's kind of fun that I got the two heads up here at the same time.
Yeah, cool.
Freddie, they keep
Especially
things
my
lively, don't they? The
They
redheads?
do.
Yeah.
I like the story. I'm still at the story with the man with dressed in a knot.
You're trying to visualize it.
You know that's a song. It's got to be a song.
And you know what? Grab in a question and let me check my guest list.
But ladies, let me ask you something. So who were your biggest influence in your life as far as what you do as musicians?
Oh my God. Go
ahead.
Big Mama Thornton. I saw her. I was actually playing at the Ann Arbor Blues Fest in '69, and that's the first time I saw her, and she was.
Yeah, you said 69.
Yeah.
You're probably like about 45, 46.
Well, I wasn't born yet.
Okay,
And,
good.
Obviously, my next favorite is Coco Taylor. I always aspired to that kind of singing,
Yes.
sort of gut bucket.
That gut,
delivery.
yes.
Yeah.
Keep it in real.
I call it down and dirty. Yeah.
That's what I call it
Yes.
too. Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's very important.
Yeah.
Being women.
yes.
Whose was your influence?
I was just telling Sean earlier, I sung gospel all my life and Pentecostal. And so when I started learning blues and Steve started teaching me the pentatonic scale and all the stuff I needed to do, I guess probably one of mine was Sean, because I've only sung blues like 10 years.
Okay.
Yeah, so, I've always sung down home, gospel, little church out on the hills in Oklahoma, so everyone thinks that, that's the voice that goes along with that.
Right.
But my best favorite from the time I was 12 years old, Roy Orbison.
Okay.
Just a voice that is, oh God, heavenly to me, and
like
I just
crystal.
fell in love with him. Yeah, I mean, his voice can do anything, and so I remember I think it was a documentary they did on him, and they were talking about the producer that wanted him to hit that one note that was down in the chest voice, and he was like, oh, I can't do that, and he goes, yeah, I can, and he didn't know he could. And he did it. It was amazing, and I'm trying to think of what song it was. Of course, I can't remember, but Crying, I think.
Oh my God.
But
yeah, there's the notes.
Yeah.
Ladies, I can't let you leave without your own WIB
Finally.
list.
Yay! I get one. I've seen people. I'm like, where'd you get that?
From us. They are made out of clay, so they are a little on the delicate side. But,
Okay.
they already help make you stand out in the middle of the day if you're not in your show
Absolutely.
clothes.
Yeah.
People stop and ask you questions, and you tell them it means I'm a proud woman in blues.
That's right.
And then sell them a CD, make them get some money out of their pocket.
Yes. Money.
There you go. Cash on hand. All right. Well, ladies, I want to thank you so much. I'm going to do the famous block so that you don't end up with the weird midsection shot in the camera. I'm going to come over here to hug you, and then we'll get Sister Lucille up.
And we're gonna stand.
Sean Murphy and Connie Hawkins, and now I'm blocking that view. Yeah! I'm taking the hit out of that couch, yes. Thank you, Mrs. Summer.
It's the weirdest shot angle.
Now we know.
So much.
That was so cute. Probably because the mic, we're close to the mic, it's got a hardwood pattern, so no.
You were very wonderful. Facebook friends this week.
I think so.
We're here with Katie and Suki, so
We're about to show you how to
We'll
point you out too, you know that.
All right, I'm so glad to meet you.
I gotta get you
You guys get your picture.
Okay. Hey, Connie.
Tell Connie don't go anywhere. Hi, how are you? Here.
No, you guys talk to me.
What day is it? Thursday.
Get an update.
Oh, gosh.
The documentary maker, remember? Yes. Okay, cool.
Cool. Oh, here, Sean. We're gonna do a selfie. I'm so good at selfies. Come on.
Hey, sorry, the live
gonna-
feed is gonna get a hi live feed.
Okay, live feed. Here we go. Wait, see if I can do this quickly. Okay, I
There
put
you
a
go, you
smile.
got it, all right. Sister Lucille, I'm blocking, so you don't have to have the weird midsection. Yes. Come on, Freddie.
Oh, okay.
Michelle. Pictures everywhere. Pictures being taken. We gotta get a live feed going. We can't get all this now. So come on, let's.
Okay.
And I'm doing the block for you, Sister Lucille, so you get to the couch and get to sit in the company and looking cute. Yes, we certainly can. Come on, get your
Yeah.
I'm not by myself.
Look,
This will help make a point I like to make. Come on in.
as a group of women would say, fresh meat.
Y'all, you gotta give my white ass just a little bit. There we go.
There we go.
So we're back here with the Women in Blues live interviews, thanks to Swift Eyes Innovation at the International Blues Challenge, run by the Blues Foundation, sitting on Vinny's couch. Talk about a mouthful. We're here right now with Freddie Stover, Sister Lucille, and her guitar player. What is your name, darling?
Jamie.
Jamie, okay. And this helps make a point of mine. We often say this. We are happy to share our spotlight with our brothers in blues. We just don't give it away.
There you go. I understand.
And we are lucky too, because there's a lot of great guys that work with female artists. So, and we have no problem promoting men who are with female artists at all. It's like, heck yeah! This great kick-ass male guitar player, this beautiful female vocalist. You got this great male guy on piano, woman playing sax. We don't care. We don't discriminate like that.
Well,
It's like.
I'm happy to be here. Thank you very much.
And y'all are competing this year, right? No,
not
you're
this
not.
year.
This was our year compete. Okay, that was last year you
Yeah, we
competed.
did semifinals.
I
Competed 2 years in a row. Last year we
Okay.
made semis.
Did I happen to get any footage on you last year in all of our little snippets? I ran around so much trying to shoot people that I got to the point
There's so
where I
many,
didn't even know
so
anymore.
many great women in the blues. It's hard to get to all of them.
Yeah. Well, not only that, from competing last year that the club, the times will change. You know that
Right,
too.
I know
It's
that
like you
too.
go in, and a lot of our viewers don't necessarily know this, but when bands go into competition, and all of us actually have competed. You've competed.
Yes.
Y'all two have competed. I competed a long time ago, back when there were half as many bands. And you're going to these 2 nights in a row of the semifinal rounds, and if you're not in the right spot at the right time, you can get. It used to be that you get kicked to the back end of the line. Now I heard they let a dead space go by and you lost your points.
You lost one. Yeah.
Yeah, this year they
took
changed
off
the
that
rules. They
point.
tightened them up big time, so you got to be careful.
Yes.
Yeah. So now, tell me where you guys are gigging right now.
Well, actually, Saturday we're playing in Clarksdale, Mississippi at Ground Zero.
Cool.
We are our first time there, so we're
Really
looking forward to
excited
that.
about that.
Yeah.
That's a nice club. I've gone to a few shows
Yeah.
there, so that's like that's like going back to the basics. I call it part of my trifecta of the blues journey.
Yes.
You got to hit Helena.
Yes.
You got to hit Clarksdale. You got to hit Memphis. There's a few others, but if you haven't hit those 3, something's wrong.
A couple weeks ago when we were here, we got over to Reds for the first time.
Oh, Red's Juke!
That was so
Yeah.
fun.
You know he's packing.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, he's got his own barbecue and his band.
I love that big old barbecue out there. That's the greatest. Only thing is, you really don't want to walk in those bathrooms. I mean,
Oh yeah, I didn't go to the bathroom while I was there, luckily.
It's juke joint down in Clarksdale is one of the last of the real jukes. It's like, and it is definitely
And he's something else. He's a character too. Like I got up and I'm like, I'm gonna do a Coco Taylor song, and he walked by me and said, "You better be able to sing it."
And what did he say after?
He was like,
Yeah, and then from Red, that's a thumb or a hug.
yeah.
I got lucky. I got a hug.
yeah, I got a hug at the end of the night.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god, I passed.
I got him to laugh at me. I said a little joke to the keyboard player, and he's like, ha ha ha, and he put his hand on my leg. I was like, all right, I broke through.
Now, did you guys travel into Memphis over the last couple of days to network and all that?
Yes.
All right, what was your craziest story on the road?
Oh, we haven't done a lot of road traveling. I mean, we
What
played.
about, okay, I got one. We went to Garden City, Kansas, and we played at the zoo, a benefit for the zoo. That was fun. That was the good part.
Were there animals there watching the show?
No. But after that, we go back to the hotel room, and about 4 o'clock in the morning, the fire alarm goes off.
Oh, yes.
At 4.
At 4 in the morning, and we have a 10-hour drive the next day to go home. So we're just praying that the whole place isn't going to burn down, And we're taking guitars out and rushing them, because we had our instruments inside. So we're rushing them out, and
Trying to wake our bass player.
trying to wake our bass player up.
Banging on his door.
Yeah, and he's OCD a little bit, so he's like, well, should I get this and get that? I was like, no, the place is on fire, just get out. And I guess the guy passed out while he was cooking bacon. It was like a sweet place, and he lived there. So they contained it to that room, and we got to go back to sleep about 6, but that is probably the craziest thing that's happened since we've been anywhere, I think.
Well, that makes my fire alarm the other night in the Hampton Inn nothing. Somebody burned popcorn and set off the fire alarm, but I thought I caused it because I went outside. I was getting ready to go outside, and I hit the elevator button when the alarm went off. It was one of those things like but we were only outside I think for like 20 minutes or so, not for hours, and not at 4 a.m. It was still I think 11 o'clock at night or something.
Oh, no.
So thank goodness.
Yeah, that's probably the craziest thing.
Now I gotta get another question for you. This is not for you, James. Sorry. But what is the craziest thing or the coolest thing about being a female performer that you know, or the hardest thing?
Hardest thing. I don't know. That's kind of a hard one.
Well, I never said I was going to make it easy.
That's right.
So, I mean, if you want easy...
I'll figure it out. I think it's just sometimes people just kind of just look at you and make they look at what you look like before they even get to the inside. And a lot of people, I just feel like that once I get up there and sing, people look at you completely different once you bring it to them, because I don't know, it just seems like women it's not as prominent as men, so men get, it's easier for them. So sometimes you just get judged on how you look.
More judged on their voice.
We're more judged on the outside appearance, and sometimes, the people that look good can't necessarily sing as good, but they get further, So when you get up there and you really belt it out and give it to them, then you get that whole other respect. So that's the way I kind of look at it. I mean, that's been the hardest thing, I think, for me.
At least you know that your respect in the end is earned.
Exactly. So after you get up there and sing, and then they're like, "Oh, okay, she really can sing,"
Totally different.
It's like Dave Tomlinson.
Then you get treated completely different. I guess that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, you do.
Well, Dave Tomlinson at Preserving the Blues had put out a blog recently that was talking about, because he's been interviewing lots of women for our Women Blues Showcase, and he was talking about, can you imagine this kind of write-up? Devin Allman took the stage, his long blonde hair flowing in his tight blue jeans.
Right?
Yeah.
Exactly. That's exactly right.
And with some good guitar licks. It's like, hey, can you imagine that review? And you think, gosh, no.
Yeah.
But that is how,
That's how they review women. Yes.
Exactly.
It needs to be more about your show and your voice.
Yeah, your talent, your skills.
And if you're lucky enough to be attractive, then that just falls in place. That's how it
There
should
you go.
be. Instead of
Now, James, do you
backwards.
find any, because this is an interesting, we get the chance to kind of get a flip perspective, do you find anything challenging with working with female performer, not in the perspective of a partner, but in how other people perceive, like, do you get comments, oh, you're working with a woman, or do you ever hear anything like that?
Well, I mean, hopefully I don't get in too much trouble with the guys here.
Yeah, there you go.
But I think it's kind of a historical thing that, I mean, a lot of guys don't want to work with women, or they're just cliche that, oh, a woman in the band means drama, or the woman in the band means, she's gonna that time of the month and all that kind of stuff. For me,
Just gave the
I think it's
secret
pretty.
Yeah, that's cool.
I mean, for one, not only does she have an amazing voice, but she brings something to the table that the guys can, and that's a woman's perspective, a woman's point of view, and it's awesome for me to sit and watch her play to her crowd, which is women. There may be guys there to see her as well, but we're really working on this thing
I try to
where
sing to
we're really kind of preaching to the ladies
Yeah.
and kind of doing a camaraderie thing, and that's awesome to be a part of as a man, I think.
So, do you guys find that when you do that, and that's very interesting that you point that out, when you find yourself doing that, do you find you get more respect from the men? Instead of being this pretty thing on the stage, and it's like, okay, we want to hear you sing, but I like the way you, but do you find that it's reversed once you do that and they see that, oh, hey, my wife really likes what they're doing?
Yeah. Well, sometimes you see, the people at the front or whatever, and it'll be a man and a woman, and you're like, okay, you don't have to sing to the men because they're going to watch you perform anyway. To me, I perform to the women, and I make sure I'm locking eyes with them, not their husband, because I want them to feel comfortable, and I want them to stay and listen to me. So and when I come off stage and introduce myself to people, I will shake the guy's hands and I will hug his wife. That's just what I do. I want them to feel important. I don't want them to feel like, I'm there to take their man. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so I sing and I sing women anthem songs, and that's just. Yeah, I really think it definitely earns a lot more respect.
She's a people person. Can I be her groupie? I like that. Who was your biggest influence?
Etta James,
Okay.
Janis Joplin, Reba Russell.
Some
Luann Barton.
Some local Memphis.
Well, I was gonna say, Reba Russell's around, yeah.
Reba's my.
I've gotten to communicate
Oh,
with her a few
I love
times.
her
She just
so much.
seems really cool. I haven't met her yet,
Yes.
but I mean, she seems really, really cool.
She is amazing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, we actually have more people coming in, but before you leave, I want to do something. First of all, your Women in Blues necklace.
Thank you.
And we don't do this very often, okay? And my partner in crime, Terry, came up with an expression a while back about some of the really cool men that we've had to deal with the Women in Blues. And some of the comments you made, you just earned a little bit of my respect. And so on Terry Robbins and my behalf, I'd like to present you with your own personal ovaries. You are now an honorary WIB.
Wow. Very honored. Thank you so much.
Seriously,
you.
the comments were, it's nice to have men that women can work with like yourself, where it's more about the work and the joy of it and whatever
Well, we've
it brings
also
to the
been married
table
for
and not
23
about
years, so-
Right?
some of the silly stuff.
Exactly. Ironically, some of my favorite blues singers are women.
There you go.
So,
And that counters the manager that told me nobody wanted to hear a woman sing the blues. I was still working against you. And you know who you are, even though I never told anybody your name. But one of these days, you and I are going to talk, and we're going to have a good time. We got more guests coming, so I'm going to do my famous block so that you guys can get off without the weird, midway shot. Okay, here comes Michelle for the block. Thank you.
great to meet you all. So
Congratulations.
much.
I'm getting ready to get up. And that's wonderful.
We're doing a block
that you guys
shot.
are married and that you do what you do. That's very
What do you
nice.
think, folks?
Wait, you know I gotta get a picture because
She's wiggling.
he's no longer in the meat market.
But we're streaming live.
Okay.
Live, yes, live.
We're streaming
No,
live.
if you want to go get the picture, go get the picture. I'll banter for a moment.
Well, I'm gonna take your.
I've got to find out who the rest of my guests are here too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And here, let me take a picture over here too. Yeah, that's cool. Pam Taylor's here, fabulous.
And I know Karen Lovely. I just
And
saw
she's
her.
been taking pictures. You've been getting pictures
I
of
saw
us,
the
right?
cat.
See, she's getting pictures of us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Karen sure
Okay.
did.
Lovely. Karen Lovely.
Yeah, Karen's
Bridget,
here.
Karen takes over co-hosting at 4 o'clock.
Okay, and it's 5 to 2.
So let's get in the last couple of minutes. Let me ask you a question or two, and then I'll switch out with Karen, because I didn't get to ask you a couple of questions, and I wanted to make sure that our host got a little featuring too. And I do miss your son. That kid is such a sweetheart. I just love him. So you tell him I said hello.
I will.
And I want to thank you also, because last year, you were part of Women in Blues Showcase. This year, you're coming to help host, and it feels sort of like going to like a big award show where like the famous actors introduce the other, up and coming talent or the people that are winning awards. So it's been fun to have you. What's in store for you this year?
Oh gosh, Michelle, the list is so long, and I'm very excited.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of people are backing what I do as a woman and as a musician. And as a nurse, I'm working for the VA. We've been doing a lot with them as far as doing shows. I actually did a show, and this ties in with everything I'm doing. It's called the Butterfly Ceremony. It's to honor the veterans who had passed away in the last year. And I got to sing, and wait for it, folks, Wind Beneath My Wings. I thought I was going to lose my mind and cry there. And it's a humanitarian thing.
Right.
And I'm up for an award back in Pittsburgh for Freedom from Silence to the Centers of Victims, because I tried to give back with, domestic violence. And being on that side of it too. CD, 2. One, I already have a CD that's out. It's called That Kind of Woman. Came out 6 years ago, but I'm working on another one now. It's going to be blues and the other one's going to be gospel. My website, MissFreddie.com.
Fabulous.
Yes, been out. Matter of fact, this month makes a year, so I'm excited.
And spell Freddie, because
Freddye. There's feminine spelling of Miss Freddie. Yeah.
Cool.
So I'm excited working with you, and I'm glad I have this opportunity. I'm just down here networking and just keeping the blues alive and supporting all these ladies and supporting whatever goes on. Plus our 2 bands down here from Pittsburgh.
Hometown cheerleader for the
Yay.
one of the female artists one in my region is here from Wilmington from the Cape Fear Blues Society. So I'm like rooting her. It's the hometown thing. I get it.
Yeah, and you know what? A lot of people, it's kind of weird. People are coming up strangers. And I put on my Facebook page, if you follow me on Facebook, I said, I must look like a blues singer. People are coming out of woodwork. Well, are you singing?
And you're not wearing your WIB necklace?
No, I didn't get one yet.
You didn't get yours last year?
I got mine last year, but I have it encased. You've seen it right here, folks. Yay, I got mine. People think, they're like, you're not singing. I says, no, but it's expected. If you're a musician, it's expected for you to perform no matter what you do.
Yeah.
And I get that a lot back home. And I was going to scale off from gigging so that I could do, but it's not happening.
Yeah, it is what it is.
It's not happening.
All right, well, Freddie Stover, I love you.
I love you too. Thank you. Thank you so much.
I'm going to get
Michelle.
switched out, get Karen Lovely in here. Is Shakira here? Because I want to get on schedule. No, okay, then we'll get panned up and Karen Lovely in, and we're just going to have fun. As you've heard a couple of times, it's the National Women in Blues here in Memphis. Thanks to Swift Eyes Innovations, we are at the International Blues Challenge sitting on Vinny's couch. And we've got all kinds of incredible people here. Yes, I'm live streaming. Hello. Yeah, I'm live. She probably might be in the corner though, I think. It's good to see you. Are you? Do we have you scheduled to come?
It's not 41 degrees. It's warm on this.
I might be able to sneak you in. Can I sneak Karen? Well, I don't need Karen and Pam. Yeah. Okay. Maybe we can put the 3 here at the same time. Okay. Because I'm live right now. People are like, seeing like this dead air, so I'm going to dance on the couch. Ladies, don't forget we're live. Karen Lovely, get your little butt up here. Pam will have you in just 2 seconds. Hey, Karen, get over here. Yes. Wait, there's a weird shot there. We don't want to stay up like that too long. Trust me. Trust me, because what ends up happening is the frame is right there. We're framed up to about here. All right, you tell me what to do. Well, first of all, hello. It is so wonderful to see you. Now, the cool thing, ladies, we do have a mic that points in our direction, but not that good. Well, they're vocalists. That means, like me, they carry. You know, we do.
Yeah.
We learned how to project. I've got Karen Lovely with me, an incredible blues woman. Like this woman,
put
friggin'
this
like,
down.
like blew your ass out of the water when you hear her. How are you doing? How was your
Doing
trip?
great.
Are you ready
Awesome.
to do some hosting?
I am.
We're gonna get some guests on the couch. Tomorrow you're gonna help with the hosting there too. It's like I'm loving this part. People are like, wait, you've got it. I'm like, yeah, we've got it. They were like, I said, I want to be like kind of like the Oscars, actors introducing actors and stuff. It's really kind of cool.
I
You
love
know?
this concept.
Yeah, and we're having a lot more fun doing it.
Yeah.
Real quick, because we'll get to ask you some additional questions along while we're doing interviews. But real quick, what is your website for people?
www.karenlovely.com.
Latest album,
10 Miles Bad Road.
10 Miles Bad Road, first of all, one of the most beautiful album covers I've ever seen. And the content inside of it probably 10 times more beautiful. So, I mean, like really incredible. And everybody's talking about it. So you definitely want to get that. We got Pam Taylor. Let's get Pam Taylor. I think, is Terry here too, right? Yeah, I got Pam and Terry. We might just, if Shakur hasn't arrived yet, we'll go ahead and slip these two up here right now. Where's my Pam? And Pam Taylor and where's Pam?
She's here.
Things like craziest things, things like the craziest requests, you know, stuff about being a woman. Yeah, Pam Taylor.
Yeah.
Where is she?
Right there.
Pam, come on, we're gonna roundhouse a little bit and bring up Terry too. Come on, get up here. We're roundhousing. We're finally nice to meet. And I'll do the little block so that they don't have to get the weird shot that's like that. I'll hug you over there. Trust me, you don't want the weird waist shot. Don't want the weird. Hold on. Okay, hold on. Scoot. We'll get you in two. Quick. Blocking the weird waist shot because it's weird. Okay. You want to be seated. There you go. Oh my God! What a couch I've got here! Oh my God! Karen Lovely, Pam Taylor, and Terry Douglas. What's going on? Oh, good stuff. Okay. Well, Pam, this was your time block, so we'll start with one of the first questions on you. Okay. All right. Craziest thing on the way here to IBC? Anything weird on the road? Or any weird road adventure you can tell us?
Well, on Highway 78 coming through Mississippi, we were just driving along talking and we looked and there was this big sign, one of those big huge road signs. It was just snapped in half. All the trees were snapped in half. And so I looked up YouTube and I was like, what's going on Highway 78? But a really horrible tornado. I know it was very dark, but that's what happened. And you could see the straight path all the way through 78 where it just
But you
chopped
came
trees.
like after it, thank goodness.
Yeah, that was right before Christmas, and it hurt a lot of people, which was really unfortunate. But just riding through that energy that we felt,
Yeah,
you know, riding
seeing
down
everything
it,
down
seeing
like that,
it, and then
yeah.
looking it up, and there was video about it. That was really.
All right, now so you got a moment. What's your craziest, you know, like either road trip here to IBC or road trip story period?
Craziest, I don't have a lot of crazy stories, but there's something amusing that happened. My friend and I, Steven, my boyfriend and I, were on the plane, and after we got off the plane, he told me that someone was on the plane duct taping inside of the plane. Which I'm really glad I didn't see.
Yeah, that's one of those. What's going on there?
I would have been written off.
They were duct taping parts of the plane together inside the plane.
You know, it's interesting because I actually heard a story about that once. Evidently, it's not your regular duct tape. No, I saw somebody tweet about this a couple of years ago. Like, I saw them duct taping the wing. Oh my God! It's evidently some special kind of metal duct tape that's cost like $10,000 a roll. It's not your regular duct tape, but it's actually common in aviation. But it's very disturbing because it kind of looks like a regular roll of duct tape.
That's good to know.
Yeah, I know.
They spend $10,000
That
on
would
duct
be the
tape.
special people on the plane we see. It was like, oh no, that's $10,000 a roll.
Yeah, don't
It's very
worry.
common
If
in
it was on
aviation.
the wing, I don't think it would make any difference.
Well, we know how good regular duct tape works. Just think if you spent $10,000
Well, no, I
on some
think
duct
this is
tape.
like some sort of special bonding, and it works with the metals and the wind resistance and everything else that goes along
Well, you
with
just
it.
made me
But-
feel better. Thank you.
Yeah, well, and it's funny because I can imagine the same thing. If it hadn't been that I stumbled across that weird article talking about it, I wouldn't have known.
Yeah.
What can I say?
Exactly.
All right, I got some more questions here, and I'm gonna let Karen do some wild shot questions too. All right. Karen goes, what? All right. So, Pam, weirdest, best, or worst thing about being a female performer?
Well, it's funny because The weirdest thing is going into a gig and I'm carrying, and they think I'm like the roadie carrying Robert's stuff, and then they're asking him all the questions like about the guitars, and I'm like, it's my guitar.
My guitar, not his.
It's my guitar. No, I mean, really, I've been really fortunate because I've heard a lot of horror stories about being a woman, and I've read Etta James's biography, and so I know how it can be, and I've been really fortunate to not really have any of those things happen to me.
Thank
You know,
goodness.
it's just been really, really fortunate, and I guess that's why I keep doing it, because if it's not fun, I'm not going to do it.
There you go, yeah. And I'll give you this question in a second. In case you hear a lot of noise, we do want people here. We're loving that we've got all this going on. Every now and then with boisterous blues people, it just gets a little higher in volume, and I'm worried that maybe the mic isn't
Well, it's
picking
always a
anything out,
party
so-
on Beale Street.
Yeah, when we got a good mic here, it's a color, it's like, and the sound, it was funny because the yesterday's stream, they're a little catchy, but the audio was incredible.
Nice. Oh, good.
Yeah, absolutely incredible. And the good part is we've got all the HD stored in a server, so we can pull it all out and repost it. Okay.
good,
Yeah,
good.
not have to
Yeah.
worry about everybody just watching catchy stream stuff. You know?
Okay.
Okay, your turn on the same question. Wildest, weirdest, worst about being a female performer.
I would say the best are the people who I meet. I've met so many kind, generous, interesting, extraordinary
So
people.
you think because you're a woman that you're meeting better people? Is that it?
I
Or-
think I
they're
meet
more open to you,
I
or-
think the abundance of people that I get to meet, and maybe it's not because just I'm a woman, but I do have a lot of really good relationships with women who identify with me. And I'll say one thing, not only as a woman, but kind of a voluptuous woman. Being on stage, I've had women come to me, it's happened 3 times, come to me in tears, telling me that they were really moved and touched by my confidence, and it really affected them in a positive way.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting. You just made me realize that you three are very different types of blues too. You know, you're really more towards the rockin' edge of blues, and I know you do some rock too. You know, and then you're like this sort of like mid-range, because I've heard some of your stuff that sounds almost Memphis, but I've also heard some of your stuff sound almost Cali. You know, and then I've heard your stuff go from sort of those rockin' down to more of a traditional sound, but with the rockin' edge, and it's like. It's kind of interesting. All of a sudden, I'm like going, "Wow!"
Have you heard the newer stuff?
I
heard the new.
Some of the newer stuff is really rock, though, isn't it?
No, it's totally different. We call it Dirty Southern Soul. It's like
Oh, that one. Yeah, no, that.
Yeah,
yes.
mine and Robert's.
Yes,
Stolen
yes,
Hearts,
yes.
new
Yeah.
stuff.
Where's Robert?
Robert's there.
Hey, Robert.
It's my other half.
I was gonna say one room. I'm not sure we have it on the couch. Sorry, it's ladies' time. Karen,
Wouldn't be a bad couch to be on.
yeah, I know. It's the kind of couch that you take pictures and you send all your friends and go, look where I am. Yeah, okay. Don't you love us like own it? All right, Karen, you got any good ones you wanna check with the ladies and ask?
Let's see. What's the strangest song request you ever had?
Oh, good one.
Oh my gosh.
Nobody sang Sally's. No.
Well, I always get somebody wants
Is there a
us to
song
do
that you-
Janis.
Janis Joplin.
Janis Joplin, and we've only pulled up one time. One
Because
time
you're
out of
a woman,
all of the requests.
all women must do
And
Janis
it was
Joplin.
only because, well, when people come to my shows, they always like, I hear Janis in there, I hear this in there, I hear, and and it's great to be, but who can really compare to Janis Joplin? But there's those huge shoes to fill, so I never want to cover any of her music. Only because
I would never do one of her songs. I don't want to be compared to Janis.
we did one. We did Bobby McGee one
I
time
wouldn't even
just
try- I wouldn't even
recently.
try that.
Because when people ask us to do it, I'm like, I'm not doing Janis. I'm not doing Janis. But we did this one time, and only because we were in a room full of people that were like really close friends, and she said this would just make my day. And it was just so happened that we had run through it, just kind of playing around with it one night, and so we knew it. We were able to play it for them, and they were like, "Oh my God, thank you so much." For playing, because we hardly, as original band, we don't like to get asked to do covers. I'm
Yeah.
like, why don't we do some Stolen Hearts stuff? Or why don't
Yeah.
I'm gonna introduce you to some Pam Taylor music,
I always
and
find
maybe
that
you'll like that.
fascinating when they come to hear a band that's selling
Original.
CDs and it's like, we're an original band. Hey, can you do Molly Hatchet?
No, go to a Molly Hatchet show if you want to hear Molly
You need to
Hatchet.
go. Oh, snap, suck it now. Uh-huh. Oh, Marie. Yes.
a songwriter, you gotta at some point get tired of having people ask you to sing other people's music. Now when I was taught guitar by Debbie Davies for the last when I lost my regular day job and I had guitar just free time. I took for a year from her, and she kept wanting me. She's like, "You got to copy this Albert Collins song." I'm like, "I'm not copying Albert Collins." It's like I don't want to learn his stuff. I want to.
Yeah,
It's like I don't want to spend all this time copying somebody. It's like I don't want somebody to say, "Oh my God, Pam Taylor sounds just like Albert Collins." No, I don't. I want somebody 10 years down the road and say, "God, that guy sounds like Pam Taylor." So I'm not going to copy anybody. I don't want to sound like anybody.
All right, well, Karen's question to you too.
What about
Strangest
you?
friend. That was such a great answer.
Ditto.
Strangest
I would say it's funny you say Mustang Sally. I don't know if it's so much strange as annoying.
I actually made that $100 song because it was requested so often, and I said $100. And the woman that asked me didn't even. She called it mustard salad. But you know what? She went over to her boyfriend, got $100, came back like this. I got $100. You got to do the song. So now it's $1,000.
That
is so smart.
My stupid ass just did it in one of the first sets to get it out of the way so nobody could come up and ask, because later when they get drunk I'd say, well, we did it the first set, so sorry.
Do you want me and Robert come
And
up
it's
in?
a great song, but it doesn't need to be performed by every band in the world.
The funny thing is too, I don't know if a lot of people are aware of this or not, but see, I'm one of those weird people. Mustang Sally is not typically and originally a blues song. It is actually technically originally a soul tune that has been recorded by soul artists, blues artists, rock artists, pop artists, jazz artists, by everybody. It's been covered by everybody. But it's funny because they will constantly come to a blues band and a blues show and ask for Mustang Sally.
Well, I think it's weird when they come to a blues show and they ask for something that is, by
Rush?
U2 or something.
It's random.
And there's this assumption that because you're a band that
You're a jukebox.
You're a jukebox.
You're just
You know,
supposed to know
every
it.
song
that
in
you
the
have
world.
everything in your repertoire and you can do
Well, now
that.
I'm not going to discount those people. There's a woman back in Wilmington, North Carolina, by the name of Sonia. She's not performing these days, some health issues, but for years she basically was the human jukebox. You went to her show, you could ask for any song, and I don't care where that song came from, whether it was A&R, MOR. It was. She knew it. She knew every word. She knew every verse. She knew every turnaround. She was a complete and total human jukebox. And when they played an outdoor festival event with a pool party, that was perfect. Yeah, it was great, and they got paid a lot of money for it. They did great. They were great for weddings
Cover bands
too.
can get paid a lot of money,
Yeah.
but really to succeed in music, you have to have original music.
Yeah.
And I know that's one of the fortes that both of you women have. Terry just finished recording an album that's all original music. When I saw you perform last year at the IBC, the songs that you did that you wrote were just amazing, blew the room away. And Pam is writing all original music. And when you are a singer-songwriter and you want to do your own material, it's really important. That's the only way that you get ahead in this business is to write your own stuff.
And you would know because you are Illinois.
Yes, you are. Yeah, when you got a stage and a microphone, you can play whatever you want to.
Yeah.
And here's the thing me and Robert come up with.
I didn't mean to interrupt. I'm sorry. I just want to say anyone can sound good covering a hit song.
You copy it. Just sing it note for note, word for word, melody. When you make up and create
There's
something.
not even interpretation sometimes. It's just,
No, it's
You
not.
know,
It's,
I did do one cover song on there, and that is Ball and Chain.
oh, that's a good one.
I did.
We did one cover song with Etta
That's going to
James.
be a Terry O'Donnell
Only because there are some songs that
That's a
that are so
killer song.
inspirational.
Yeah. That's like Etta James, I'd rather go blind.
Yes.
That's my
James
song.
said Ball and Chain,
also
and Big
think
Mama doesn't sound
Thornton.
like Big Mama.
Oh, it doesn't.
No, Etta
Okay.
James has a
And I think that's the
Beautiful
trick. If
version
you
of
are
it.
going to cover a song,
Uncover it.
exactly.
Yeah, I like that.
I mean,
Uncover it.
years ago we used to do "Treat Her Right," which is a soul song. But instead of doing like most people, we slowed that thing down so far that we would have people walk up to us afterwards and ask us when we wrote that one. We go, well, we didn't write that. That's a known cover song. But because most people play it fast, moderate, or
Change the
fast, or
range.
uber
Yeah.
fast, and we
Change the
just
range.
completely went very slow, very sassy and sexy and slow. People didn't recognize it. So if you're gonna do the cover material, find your piece in it.
Yeah.
you
Yeah, that's
know?
talent when you can take a cover
Exactly.
song and turn it into something that people think is original music because it's so different.
Like Mad
than
World.
Yeah.
That song Mad World, when they turned that into an acoustic piece from a rock piece, and it just got so lush and beautiful, and it's this gorgeous
Karen,
song.
and I hate
Yes,
to
ma'am.
interrupt, but we've got Shakura Saida here, and she's only
Where's
got a few
Shakura?
minutes, and we got to get her up here. So, ladies, I'm going to do your block for you, but your WIB necklaces.
Awesome.
And I'll do the block to hide the camera. Thank you for your Dobby website address. So yeah, making you TerryWIB.com, TerriEABI. Wonderful. Head that way, baby. Pam Taylor, come here and give me a hug. Website, real quick. With OwenHearts.rocks. There you go. Blocking everybody on the midway shot. There you go. Shakira, I'll give you a block too so that you don't end up with a weird waist shot. I'm blocking the camera for everybody here. Karen, did you get me? I have one from last year. Okay, good. Okay. Do you want me up here? Oh, yeah. You get to hang it all hour. And ask anything you want. Fun. Lovely. So, come on, Miss Aida. We cannot wait to get you up here. The best view is from sitting on the couch. So, let me get you down. And
Oh, it's so good to see you. Beautiful as always.
you would figure, right here in the middle. What do you? Sit, relax. I was trying to block the camera because the best view is when we're sitting, the way I framed it. So I figured if anybody was going to take the hit on looking kind of weird and wide on camera, I'd do it.
I appreciate you taking me.
I am so excited. Like beyond excited to have you here. I've followed you around for a long time, and a lot of your fans post you on the National Women in Blues website, on our Facebook page, which also feeds through our website. So, and I follow you on Twitter. So, it's like I actually tweeted to her, and she responded, and I was like, "Oh my goodness!"
I have no life. That's all I do. Sit on Twitter and go, please tweet me.
And Shakira, what is your latest album that you have out?
The latest album I have is now going to be 4 years old. It's
Okay.
the Time album, the double CD that I did.
Okay, and are you working on a new one now?
No,
No, trying to relaxing.
no, I'm not even. I keep saying that I am, but the truth of the matter is, no, I don't feel like it. I really don't. I'm in that place where according to them, you're supposed to have a new album out every couple of years, like you can have new product out for festivals. But I'm not feeling it, and I'm at the age where if I'm not feeling it, I'm not doing it. And when it's going to happen, it'll happen, and it'll be right. But right now, it's not right.
Well, I think that's actually really. I don't think that a young person could actually have the self-control, and I think some of the best work comes out when you have said, "Okay, I'm waiting until it's time," and then when that time hits, it hits hard, and then you go whole off somewhere, and you're like writing and everything. But it's when you're inspired that you come up with the best material, and if you push it, maybe you don't love it so much. Yeah. Oh, that's so cool. So where are you originally from? Brooklyn. What part?
Bed-Stuy.
That's really. I used to live in Lower Fourth Ward of Manhattan.
I have no idea where that is.
Chinatown, Little Italy.
Okay, I know what that
Back
is.
when Bed-Stuy and Little Italy were the worst neighborhoods in all of Manhattan. That's when I was like, I loved
We
it.
left there when I was really little, so
Yeah.
I go back, and going back doesn't allow me to feel like I'm from there because it's changed so much.
Yeah.
There's like a lot of white people walking around with little dogs.
Yeah, they got gentrified.
Seriously, they're like walking around with like little chihuahuas. I'm like, I guess this neighborhood's safe.
Yeah. I used to
I can live here.
I used to be like the only white person in Chinatown. Little
See what I
Italy,
mean?
You know?
See?
I was like alone.
That's how I gauge a safe neighborhood.
Yeah. It's like
What
a
size
little
of dog?
chihuahua. And it is so different because it's so gentrified. I feel the same when I go to New York because literally Chinatown, I used to be the only white person, period. That was it,
Yeah.
And I kind of liked being the only one there. It's kind of fun,
That's changed a lot.
Yeah, it's all gentrified. But so where are you based out of now?
Toronto.
Okay, now did you fly down?
I did. Yes, I had to think about that because I haven't slept.
Oh,
Yes.
that's why we need to do you quick and get you so you
because
can rest.
I have to go judge at 5.
Okay, and we're we're pushing on time. We had a little delay on the broadcast, and we had to restart it. So the one good thing is we found out that it's all being archived in our server. So if any of it's wiggy, we
Because
get to
as a
pull it
woman,
out later.
I want to be archived.
There you go.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Not really.
Oh,
Not really.
but Shakira, when I first became familiar with you, you were already up for one of the Blues Music Awards, and I feel like that you have managed in our blues world, you managed to reach some good peaks that a lot of women are chasing after. And I don't mean like chasing after to take away from, but I think you might have some insight for some of the younger blues women or some of the newer blues women. What are some of the more challenging things about being a female artist and promoting your work or making your stance, like this stance on holding back on the album?
I think that's it. Being your true self, being authentic, and knowing what your God, knowing what you want to do, following your spirit. And I've always been really strong about that. You know, when I was starting out, the word on the street was that there was no room for another black blues artist. Yeah, that's what I heard. And I said, okay, thank you. And I went and made the album on my own. And then when I made the album, they said, well, you can make the album, but you're really only going to be selling it at festivals or singing it to festivals. You're not really going to make a living with that. And that was 10 years ago, you know, and I think I've proven that that isn't true.
So every time they said you can't do this, you
I
just
don't
did
believe,
it?
I don't believe in can't. I don't believe in impossibilities. I believe in everything is possible. Just might take time, might take a different way of getting around it. You know, nothing is a barrier. Everything is just an obstacle to overcome. You know, but that's how I live my life. And I think for specifically for women, we really have to learn how to define ourselves, to figure out what our voice is, and not to be lulled into thinking that we have to be like somebody else, or also that we have to see it as a competition.
Yeah.
I can't compete with Karen. I can't compete with Terry. I can't compete with Erica. I have to be my own true person. So in that way, we stand on stage together. We can call each other and say, hey, this agent's calling me, or this promoter's calling me. He's offering me this. What do you think? And I can say, well, I worked with them before. This is what I got. There has to be a community because the guys have that.
Yeah.
You know, and the women don't have that. We don't have that opportunity to hang out in a bar and talk to each other. And as a result, we don't realize that the same thing that has happened to us has happened to the women. We also don't know how to deal with our musicians in the same way because as a front woman, we have different challenges. Having to deal with a lot of men, mostly. As musicians, having to be a leader of those and having to tread that fine line of hard-nosed businesswoman and musician and woman and all of those things and trying to figure all of that out. And I think it's really being clear about who you are. I keep coming back to that because if you're clear about who you are, there's no mistake. You know, somebody might think that I'm being bitchy, but I'm being clear.
You know, you're just giving me an idea. I hate to tell you this, but like you planted a seed in my head on some things that we can expand on in the Women in Blues.
There's a huge. I actually think it's further than Women in Blues. I remember hosting a festival last summer where Rhiannon Gidding was there, and I had to introduce her. And right before we got around to introducing her, she and I started talking, and she didn't know I was a musician. She just thought I was one of the MCs hosting. And I was talking to her about her musical influences, and we happened to both love Sister Was Ever Both. And I was asking her why she thought that she never got her due, and she said because the men took it away from her. And then we started from there talking about being a female leading a band, and we had the exact same experiences at the exact same time. I'd just gotten on tour with my guys, and she was on tour with her guys, and I realized it's not just about women in blues, it's about women in music. There are things happening to us that we really need to be able to talk to each other about.
We need that now.
Because the guys, they're hanging out in the bars, drinking a couple beers, talking to the guys, bitching with the guys about stuff, and they're getting all that out, and they're learning how to navigate based on the information that they're getting. Each one of us is an island. Each one of us is isolated, and we're figuring this stuff out on our own, and we're not knowing what to do half the time, or we're trying to guess, and it makes it more difficult. We really need a network of women, some who are more experienced, some who are less experienced, and we need to know that what we share in that group of women is sacred.
Well, I was thinking
Absolutely
wonderful,
salient points.
And what you said made me think what might be neat and next year, instead of trying to add other elements, is maybe try to put together like a forum or an afternoon tea for women where all we do is we get together and we just talk, you know?
We did that in Toronto. The Toronto Blues Society does a summit every other year called the Maple Blues Poetry Summit. And last year, 3 women were asked to be moderators of It's a Man's World question mark. What is it? And we thought maybe we get 10, 20 people. It was the most widely attended workshop. What was interesting was at least almost half the people who came were men.
Oh, wow.
And they were promoters, they were agents, they were musicians, and it was really interesting to get their point of view as well on things like why is there only 1 woman per festival per weekend?
This is
Right,
something
or
I
how
bring
about
up
lumping
constantly.
all women together on one night? Like,
Yeah.
Because
Only
apparently
a woman's night, yeah.
the answer that was given to us by one of the promoters is, well, we try to make sure we have 1 trumpet player and, 1 person who's playing keys, as a lead, and then 1 woman. But you have 5 men after another.
right.
that
So that's
doesn't
not
make sense.
valid.
That's not
And
valid.
I started this after I went to a festival that had 55 acts and 4 women. And one of the women that I found who was not on stage was Valerie June, playing on the street. All I could think, and look what's happened to her since too. And all I could think watching her, I stopped and I went. It was one of those, the jaw drops. I'm like, she's on the street. They're on this. What's going on here? And all I could think is they have just missed the mark because they were pandering to some perceived way of putting together a show that has no basis in reality.
Well, I think the point that Shakura made about the panel, when I did the Blues Bender a couple of years ago, we did a panel with Lisa Mann, Carolyn Wonderland, and Anna Popovich, and I. And it was the same kind of thing. It was absolutely packed. We thought maybe 3-4 people would show up, and it was jam-packed. People were standing up, and a lot of the attendees were men. But it was wonderful because we had this half hour, 45 minutes to each one of us talk about our experience in the business and how we juggle these different things. And I thought this needs to be expanded.
It
on.
needs to be
It was
expanded on.
so
It does.
enlightening to hear from each of those women what kind of obstacles they face and how they overcome
How
them.
they overcome it.
And you said the word navigate, and that's a brilliant. That's exactly
And
what it is.
I think what we need to do, every young woman who's out there, I've always had mentors. I've always had male and female mentors. So I think every woman out there needs to have a mentor, and we also need to mentor.
Agreed.
And I think we also need to have sister girls, people who are in the business who we can speak to frankly. I don't think we need to, have 20 women that we all talk to unless we feel completely safe with all those women. But I think it's important that we have women in different genres of music as well.
Agreed.
Cross section that we can say what's happening with your life, your musical life, and have a way to. I think it will help us navigate it better. I really do.
Well, when I went to the festival that I saw the 4 women out of 55, I actually was looking for female mentors because I used to perform before the Health Club. But I had a lot of great mentors in men, but I desperately wanted female mentorship, and I was having a hard time finding it. And so I kind of hoped, building this, we'd start to see more and more women kind of like coming together and working together. And we do what we can. We're a small grassroots thing, but we try to give them lists of radio stations and tell them how to market themselves to them. We try to tell them how to simple things like how to label files when you send them. To tell them, even if they said they've already booked their woman and push for it anyway. I had a woman yesterday say that she went to a festival and that they originally said, well, we've got our woman. And that she kind of gave them a little what for about it. Well, they ended up booking 4 women. She didn't get booked, but she did the next year. But she said I gave her the courage because I kept saying that we should not be hearing, we've got our 1 woman. And so she had the courage to actually do that. So we're hoping, hopefully, by what we're trying to build, that's part of what we're doing. Because I know you don't know, like the core of National Women Blues is leveling the playing field. And if we ever get that level, it's only about the rest of the core, which is promoting, supporting, edifying, and mentoring women in blues. And we always joke and we say we'll share our spotlight with the brothers, but we're not giving it away. So I hope that we can make some headway on some of these things because I think you've made some incredibly valid points and you really planted some seeds in my head too. I think it's the first time in a while that somebody said some things that I went, snap, okay, I need to get us on that because I think that's very valid. Hopefully I can figure out some ways. I might even send you a note every once in a blue moon and go, what do you think about this? You know, that'd be really cool. Now we have got some other people, and I know you need to get
I gotta go
talk to
judge.
a
I gotta go
judge,
be judgmental and a non-judgmental.
And by the way, your Women in Blues necklace.
Thank you very much. That's very nice of you.
Well, it's something that I carve and make for all the ladies.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Bye, lovely. I'll see you later.
Shakura Saida, by the way, website address.
My website is
Yes.
myname.com.
ShakuraSaida.com. SHKURASAIDA.
Something like that. Yeah. Find me on Twitter. Thank you so much.
Bye, Shakura. See you later.
Bye.
Okay, and we have Dornetta Davis is here. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. Dornetta, I'm going to help you divide lunch to avoid the weird camera angle. Is that just Jimmy over there? No. Okay. Dornetta Davis. Oh my goodness, come on up here. I'm doing the camera block so we get some weird waist shot. I'm the only one. Wow. Miss Dornetta, if you'll have a seat, it's the better view. Trust me. I've been doing the camera block so that, like, when everybody walks up, they're not like getting this shot in the camera. You know, like, so I hit my big fan ass to the camera. So, oh my goodness, I got Dornetta Davis on the couch.
Yeah, I made it. That's all right.
How are you doing?
I'm good.
How was the journey in?
Real good, real good. My husband's all the driving, so I'm good.
Oh, even better.
God
Where's the
bless
hubby?
What's your husband's name?
James.
James, thanks for doing all the driving.
Well, he went down to give me some water.
And you've met Karen before?
Yes.
Karen knows everybody.
2010, I think.
Yeah.
How'd you do?
I was a fan of hers way before that because you had a song on The Sopranos.
Oh, yeah,
that
Cry.
I Cry. And I think it's one of the best songs I've ever heard. I've worn it out. I've probably played it 10,000 times.
She came up to me.
Love that song.
And said that. I was blown away because I didn't know that. I hear I'm in Memphis to do the competition. And you bring up my rock album. I was like, wow, that's really cool.
That song is killer. I literally have worn it out.
It's not a cassette tape,
It's,
is it?
it's on a disc. It was released on Sub Pop.
Okay.
And it's called Cry, actually. The album was called Sunday Morning Music.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
On The Sopranos, too,
On The
huh?
Sopranos, yeah.
Everyone should download that song.
It's on the first season.
Oh, I hope there's some royalties coming in on that.
Oh, yes, honey.
There you go.
The producer called me, and I thought, I didn't have HBO at the time. So I thought Sopranos was a show about some singers. And he goes, I love your music, and I'd like to use one of the tunes. And I was like, okay, we can make that happen, you know. And when I found out it was a major show on HBO, I'm like, whoa, okay, now I'm a fan of The Sopranos.
That's kind of one of those stumbled upon, like, I didn't know. Like, oh, I'm sorry, you're who? Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. All right.
What a great story, too.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
You know, we've been asking, there's some standard questions we've been asking, so I'll get some of those out of the way. I'll probably let Karen ask a few, because if she knows you, she probably knows how to ask some insightful questions I don't even know to ask.
Yeah. Whatever, I mean.
I just like you, so I'll learn more about you.
There you
I hope
go.
y'all don't mind me fanning because it's that time.
Oh, it's quite all right. You fan away. If I had an extra fan,
I'm grateful for it because I was up here going,
You know, I make friends this way.
yeah.
I get the fan and the people get closer.
That's right.
I get some.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You know?
I'll join.
And that's a beautiful
And it's
fan.
funny how that happens when you go to events and you see somebody fanning. So, first of all, website. What's your website address?
DornettaDavis.com.
Okay. Latest album out.
The latest one was released in 2000, and
Okay.
it's called Dornetta Davis Covered Live at the Music Man. It
Nice.
was a club I performed at in Detroit for like 6 years, and she had
Ooh.
yeah, that one right there, and it's all of my favorite cover tunes, and we performed that live.
Well, women never get the blues. Oh, I would so love to hear you do Hound Dog.
Oh man,
Oh,
that was a party every week.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
And so
Damn
we
your
decided
eyes.
to record it one night.
There's some really cool stuff on here too. Now, you working on anything new right now?
Right now, this close to being done, April, Honest Woman.
Honest Woman.
Yeah, got that flyer, honey?
James, you got that flyer? Look, this is James delivered. Now, this
Thank
is a
you,
good
baby.
man.
If you get that flyer, they want to see Honest Woman.
James, you get that flyer for Honest Woman?
Oh yeah.
Good man.
You got it really
Yes, you
He takes
do.
care of me.
Now, where do they buy your albums right now?
Amazon.com right now.
Okay, but
or at my shows.
All right, now, but the Amazon is your Amazon.
Right.
Okay, now don't buy your albums from somebody else, listen.
Right.
It's from Thornetta's shop.
Right. Right now, it's Amazon.com for my Live at the Music menu.
Okay.
And then there's CD Baby.
Okay.
For I'm releasing one of the singles on the new album, and it's called "I Gotta Sing the Blues." This one right
And here we go. All right, I'll do the reach out.
The title of the album is going to be called "Honest Woman," and the single that's out right now is called "I Gotta Sing the Blues," and it's featuring Kim Wilson. He's performing harmonica, and I talked him into it last minute, right before we went into the sessions. You know what? I think this would be a cool song for us to sing. He goes, "I give it a try." You know, and we had an hour drive from where he was staying because I found out he was coming in town, and it was my dream to just have him play on it. But while I was singing and getting ready for the session, I'm thinking this sounds like something that he could sing too. Right. You know, because the lyrics go hand in hand with why we do this music. You know, and so when he agreed to do it, I knew it was blessed. His album is blessed.
Awesome. I think it's really cool.
Yeah.
All right. What is the craziest request that you've ever gotten on stage? You set me up for that one. She's making faces already. There's so many. Yeah.
Trying to remember them right now. The craziest request.
Craziest, strangest, the one that you think about and you go, I cannot believe anybody asked me that.
I don't know about asking. I do a tune called "Meet Me with Your Black Drawers On," and I actually had a guy throw me his drawers. I said, "I hope he's clean." We gotta be that little. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, were they black drawers or white drawers?
Black.
Oh Lord! And if they're black drawers, you can't really tell whether
We get one of these things.
Oh Lord!
So that's crazy.
That's pretty crazy.
But I'm just hoping he didn't just take them off. That was it.
I got bad news for you.
But, well, I hope they were.
Guys don't keep extra pair in their trunk.
Well, maybe
they're in their pocketbook.
knew I had the song coming.
Maybe. Then you know what? I bet you're right.
Yeah, he knew I had the song coming.
That's absolutely hysterical.
So hey.
Now, as far as because you travel a lot to do gigs and stuff, what would be the strangest thing you've encountered on the road? Maybe some weird club or some weird something on the road or some funny something along the way? Little podunk town or?
Not really. I mean, I can't really think of because I don't remember the name of the club.
Oh,
but
you don't have to tell me.
During the time I was promoting the Sunday Morning Music CD, we were hitting a lot of grunge town clubs because they were promoting me as a blues singer, but my band was actually like this grunge rock band. And so we were kind of touring the places that they were used to playing. And we went to this one club where they didn't have a bathroom and the floor was filthy. It was really bad.
Wow.
And actually the Board of Health came in to shut it down.
While you were there?
While we were performing.
Oh.
But they ended up liking the show so much that they stood there. Now y'all making me think because I forgot all about this. They actually decided to wait till the show was over because they stood there and watched it. Right.
Oh my God, that's
and
so
then they
cool.
closed the club down.
Did you at least tell me you
I got paid.
Okay.
I got paid.
Yeah, but you didn't take home any food, did you?
No, wasn't no food about. It was just a real skanky club. When we walked in, I was like, really, I'm playing this? You know, it was back in the 90s, early 90s.
I'm going to ask you, is this part of your jewelry collection? Because you made
I made all of
amazing
this.
pieces.
Really?
I made all of this.
I
didn't make this.
look at your stuff on Facebook. It's so gorgeous.
Oh wow, that's
I bought this
beautiful.
today.
What'd you get? Wait. Whoa, wait.
You
Where
know.
did you get that from?
Seriously.
Is that from Strange Cargo?
Yes.
Yes, I love Strange Cargo.
I had to get my Elvis ring.
I love Strange Cargo. It's one of my favorite shops.
Yes,
Strange Cargo,
I
Taylor
love it.
Reds, Memphis Music. Those are like my three. I hit.
Well, I hit one of the spots because when I saw that thing in the window, I was like, mine.
James, you knew she was taking that TCB home, didn't
Oh,
you?
look, they got my ring. And then it was one in my size. It was the only one in my size.
Meant to be.
Yeah, evidently.
It called you from the window. Take
Right.
me home
It's like in the in Better Off Dead, the little live hamburger running across the screen, except in this case, it's a little Elvis going.
Right. Here comes the shopaholic.
Now, I've got a question about advice that you would give to young women, because part of our mission's always been about trying to mentor and support, edify, do things that we can help to build up all of the female performers that we can. What kind of advice would you give to some of the younger or newer? Because not all new blues women are young. Okay, I didn't start till I was 40.
Okay.
So different people are different ages. But we got a 12-year-old at our showcase. What kind of advice do you give to the newer people coming in?
Well, I just say don't get discouraged and stop.
Right.
Because we all will get discouraged. That's how life is. And as you get older, if you want to do this thing, if this is what you truly love, to the core of your being, that's what God gave you to do. And so you cannot stop. You can't do it. You got to keep on going in this business. And whatever comes, you blow it off and say, okay, you got this. I'm here. I'm present. I'm ready to do this thing. Because I've been at this for 25 years.
This is your lifeblood.
This is my lifeblood. I made a living at it. I raised my daughter with it. And the music business has gotten different throughout all of this time.
Hasn't it? Yeah, I bet.
You know?
5 years. Yeah.
And I'm just getting to the place where I'm believing in myself to know that I can do this when I step out on faith. Because I thought I was going to get this record